Hello students, welcome to chemistry class. Today we are going to start a new chapter, biomolecules. What are biomolecules? What are biomolecules? A chemical compounds found in a living organisms. A chemical compounds found in a living organism are called biomolecules. Okay, biomolecules are containing or consist of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur. Okay, biomolecules consist of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus elements. Clear? Biomolecules are building blocks of energy. Okay, biomolecules of building blocks of life. Okay, biomolecules, I am writing BM, building blocks of life. Okay, these are the biomolecules which can help to growth of animals and plants and to create energy in plants and animals. Some biochemical reactions are carried out in animals and plants body. Okay, these are the building blocks of life. Okay, these biomolecules classified into carbohydrates, enzymes, vitamins, nucleic acids. Okay, these are we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, carbohydrates, enzymes, vitamins, nucleic acids. Okay, these are and amino acids we will discuss in this chapter. Let's start carbohydrates. First classification is carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are chemical compounds which contain carbon and hydrogen. Carbon and hydrogen, oxygen. Okay. Carbohydrates are chemical compounds which contains carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms which are primarily produced by plants and animals. Carbohydrates are primarily produced by plants by photosynthesis. X moles of CO2 plus Y moles of H2O gives rise to CX H2O taken Y plus Y moles of O2 gas lubricant. This is called photosynthesis reaction in the presence of sunlight. The reaction carried out in the chlorophyll. In the presence of chlorophyll. Clear? The reaction is carried out in the chlorophyll. This is called photosynthesis. What I produce? Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates primarily produced by plants by the photosynthesis. Clear? We have a definition, that is a bold definition or bold concept. You can say anyone. Bold concept. According to the bold concept, carbohydrates are hydrates of carbon. Hydrates of carbon atom. Okay. What are carbohydrates? Hydrates of carbon. General formula of carbohydrates according to the old concept. According to the old concept, CxH2O taken by. This is the general formula of carbohydrates according to the old concept. First one I will take glucose, C6H12O6. We can write this C6H2O taken 6. Okay, hydrate of carbon satisfy this formula. Glucose satisfy the general formula of old concept. Similarly, C12H22O11. Sucrose. Now C12H2O taken 11. Sucrose also satisfy the general formula of old concept. Okay, this formula is coming from the old concept. What is the old concept? The hydrates of carbon. Hydrates of carbon. Clear? So glucose and sucrose both are satisfy the general formula of old concept. Limits are there for this old concept. Limits are there. What are the limits? First limit, in carbohydrates, CH means in carbohydrate. CH means carbohydrate. In carbohydrates, there is no affinity. Between carbon and water. In carbohydrates, in glucose, there is no affinity with carbon and water molecule. Okay, that's the major and first disadvantage of this concept. Clear? But here hydrates of carbon means relationship is there. Water and carbon relationship is there. Affinity is there. But actually there is no affinity between carbon and water molecule. This is the first disadvantage of old concept of carbohydrates. What is second one? According to this formula, general formula, all carbohydrates are not satisfied. This, okay, the all available carbohydrates are do not satisfied or do not obey the general formula. What is general formula? CxH2O taken by. For example, deoxyribose is there. Deoxyribose. General formula C5H10O4. C5H10O4. What is the deoxyribose? Now C5H2O taken 4 means H2. 2 4 8 and 2 hydrogens are remaining. Means it is not satisfied. It's not satisfied the general formula. 2 hydrogen atoms are extra there. C5H2O taken 4. H2 is there. Means it is not satisfied. Not obey the general formula of old concept. Similarly, rhamnose is there. That is a C6H12O5. C6H12O5. What is it? Rhamnose. Now C6H2O taken 5. Okay, oxygen satisfied and hydrogen atoms 5 to the 10 means remaining 2 hydrogens are there. Hydrogen atoms comes outside. So this is also not obey the general formula. Do not obey the general formula. But they are carbohydrates. They are not hydrates of carbon. Deoxyribose and rhamnose are not satisfied or do not obey the general formula. Okay, this is the second demerit. And one more. Some compounds are there. They satisfy, they obey the general formula of the carbohydrates, but they are not a carbohydrates. For example, formaldehyde. HCHO. Formaldehyde. We can write this formaldehyde C and H2O. Okay, one carbon atom, 2 hydrogen atoms, oxygen. General formula is satisfied. Okay, C1 H2O taken 1. Clear? X is equal to 1, Y is equal to 1. So it is a formaldehyde, but it's not a carbohydrate. It satisfies the general formula of this compound. Carbohydrates. Similarly, acetic acid, CH3COOH, acetic acid is there. Now this acetic acid, how many carbons are there? 2 carbons, C2. H2O, oxygen for many 2 are there, taken twice. Hydrogen how many? 1 plus 3 4. Satisfied. It is also satisfied the general formula of carbohydrates according to the old concept, but it is not a carbohydrate. So the old concept is discarded because of these demerits. Okay, first demerit is in carbohydrates there is no affinity between carbon and hydrogen, but according to this concept affinity is there between the carbon and water molecule, but actually there is no affinity between the carbon and hydrogen water molecule. And next one, ribose and ribose both are carbohydrates, but they do not obey the general formula of old concept. And next demerit, some compounds are there, they obey the general formula of carbohydrates, but they are not carbohydrates. Okay, these are not carbohydrates, but these are obey the general formula of these compounds. That's why the old concept is discarded and new concept is introduced. That is, according to the new concept, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds at least one chiral center. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds. What are carbonyl compounds? Aldehydes and ketones both are collectively called as carbonyl compounds. Okay, according to the new concept, what are carbohydrates? What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are polyhydroxy. Poly means many. Polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl means aldehydes or ketones. Okay. Polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds with at least one chiral center or one chiral carbon. Okay, asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon. Clear? This is the new concept of carbohydrates. Let's take an example. CHO, CHOH and CH2OH. Okay. Let's check the chiral. What is first? Polyhydroxy. OH. Okay. Polyhydroxy. More than one is there. Polyhydroxy. And chiral centers. Whatever is carbon, single bond H. Okay. Single bond H. OH group is there. H is there. And CH2OH, CHO. Four different groups are there. So it's chiral. It is a chiral. So this is a chiral carbon. Okay. Carbonyl group is there. And polyhydroxy is there. And with chiral center, one chiral center is there. So it is a carbohydrate. What is it? A carbohydrate. Clear? Understand? Next example I will take here. CH2OH, C double bond O, CH2OH. Okay. Carbonyl group is there here. Ketone group is there. Okay. First one carbonyl group is there. But and hydroxy groups also two are there. Two polyhydroxy groups are there. Okay, both are satisfied, but there is no chiral center. Whatever is carbon, two hydrogen atoms are there. Whatever is carbon, two hydrogen atoms are there. Two similar groups are there. Two similar hydrogen atoms are there. There is no chiral center, so this is not a carbohydrate. Clear? Let's take one more example. CHO, CH2OH, HOH, Clear? Now, carbonyl group is there, aldehyde group is there, and hydroxy group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Polyhydroxy and chiral centers. It has a chiral center. How many chiral centers are there? 4 chiral centers are there. Okay, with at least one chiral center, but 4 chiral centers are there. So it is a carbohydrate. Clear? Understand? Let's take one more example. CHO, CH2OH, OH, 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 H, H, H. Okay, what about this carbonyl carbon and polyhydroxy group and chiral centers are there. Chiral centers are there. So it is also carbohydrate. Carbohydrate. Here, what are carbohydrates? Polyhydroxy carbonyl compounds with at least one chiral center. With at least one chiral center is called carbohydrates. Clear? So this carbohydrates classification is based on the taste. First one is the sugars and second one is the non-sugars. Sugars are crystalline substances which are insoluble in water. Okay. Classification of carbohydrates. First one is the sugars. What are sugars? Sugars are crystalline substances which are insoluble in water. Crystalline substances and which are insoluble in water. Which are soluble in water, not insoluble. Which are soluble in water. And sweet taste is there. They are sugars. Okay, all monosaccharides are examples of sugars. Glucose, fructose, all are examples of sugars. Next one, non-sugars. What are non-sugars, sir? Amorphous substances. Non-sugars are amorphous substances and which are insoluble in water. Cellulose is the best example. Okay. Amorphous substances which are insoluble in water. Example, cellulose. Starch. Okay, cellulose and starch examples for these non-sugars. Okay, this is the classification based on the taste. Okay, based on the taste, two types are there: sugars and non-sugars. Just we should remember sugars means which are crystalline substances soluble in the water. What about non-sugars? Amorphous substances which are insoluble in water. Cellulose, starch is the example, and all monosaccharides, glucose, fructose, sucrose, all are examples of sugars. Okay. Next classification. That is a symmetrical classification. First one, monosaccharides. What are monosaccharides? Which are simplest carbohydrates. Okay, these are simplest carbohydrates which cannot be hydrolyzed into the simple compounds. Okay, what are monosaccharides? Simplest carbohydrates. Which do not produce simple compounds or smaller carbohydrates on hydrolysis. Okay, this is a hydrolysis. In hydrolysis there is no simple products. Okay, we cannot divide into the simple carbohydrates. These are called monosaccharides. Okay, example, ribose, glucose, fructose, ribose, deoxyribose, C5H10O4 and glucose, C6H12O6, fructose, C6H12O6. What are they? These are monosaccharides which are on hydrolysis, do not producing simple molecule. Okay, no simple molecules. These are called monosaccharides. Next one, second classification is oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are the carbohydrates which are producing 2 to 10 monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Okay, which are producing 2 to 10 monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Okay, carbohydrates on hydrolysis producing 2 to 10 monosaccharides. 2 to 10 monosaccharides. These are called oligosaccharides. Okay, oligosaccharides again classified into disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides. Okay, what is the meaning of disaccharides? Which producing 2 monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Okay, next trisaccharides means which are producing 3 monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Clear? What about tetrasaccharides which are producing 4 monosaccharides on hydrolysis? Finally, polysaccharides. What are polysaccharides? The carbohydrates which are producing large number of monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Okay, which are producing large number of monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Producing large number of monosaccharides. For example, this is a carbohydrate on hydrolysis. It will producing a large number of monosaccharides. This is called polysaccharide. Okay, this is the classification based on the symmetrical. Next one, based on the functional group. A classification of carbohydrates based on functional group. Carbohydrates classification based on the functional group. For example, aldehyde is a functional group. Another one is a ketone is a functional group. Okay, the carbohydrates which are contains aldehyde functional group, they are called aldoses. Okay, what are they? Aldoses. The carbohydrates which contain ketone functional group, ketoses. Aldoses and ketoses. Aldoses are containing aldehyde functional group, ketoses containing ketone functional group. The general formula of aldoses: CHOH taken N CH2OH. Okay, this is the functional group. C double bond O single bond H aldehyde functional group, and N is equal to, we can write 1 to 7. N is equal to, we can write 1 to 7. Next, what about ketoses? CH2OH ketone group and CHOH taken twice. The general formula CH2OH and ketone functional group CO. CHOH taken N CH2OH. N is equal to 0 to 6. N is equal to 0 to 6 here. N is equal to 1 to 7. N is equal to 1 to 7. Now N is equal to 1 substitute here. Then we will get first one N is equal to 1. That is CHO aldehyde functional group and CHOH and CH2OH. How many are there? 1, 2, 3 carbons are there. Aldotriose. Okay, aldoses, aldotriose. N is equal to 2 substitute. N is equal to 2. CHOH taken twice. CH2OH. How many carbons here? 2 carbons, 3, 4. Aldotetrose. Aldotetrose. Clear? Next one. N is equal to 3. N is equal to 3. That is CHOH are taken thrice. CHOH 3, 4, 5. Aldopentose. Aldopentose. N is equal to 4. CHOH taken 4. CH2OH. What about these? How many carbons? 4, 5, 6. Aldohexose. Aldohexose. Glucose belongs to this family. Glucose is aldohexose. Okay, glucose belongs to aldohexose. Aldohexose. Remaining aldoheptose will come. Aldohactose. Clear? Similarly, I will take here N is equal to 0. N is equal to 0. 0 to 6 together. So CH2OH single bond C, double bond O. CH2OH. CH2. This is 0. This is not there. Only CH2OH is there. How many carbons? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 means an aldo. Keto triose here. Aldo here keto. Keto triose. Keto triose. How many carbons are there? 3 carbons. So keto triose. N is equal to 1. N is equal to 1. Substitute here. That is CH2OH. C double bond O. CHOH and CH2OH. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons are there. Ketotetrose. Ketotetrose. N is equal to 2. Substitute here. CH2OH. C double bond O. CHOH taken twice. CH2OH. How many are there? 2, 3, 4, 5. Ketopentose. Ketopentose. N is equal to 3. Substitute there. Then we will get CH2OH. C double bond O. CHOH taken thrice. And CH2OH. CH2OH. 3, 4, 5, 6. Ketohexose. Ketohexose. Okay. Fructose is belongs to ketohexose. Okay. Fructose belongs to ketohexose. Understand? Depend on the functional group. These are classified into 2 types. That is aldehyde. If contains aldehyde, they are called aldoses. If they contains ketone functional group, ketoses. Okay. General formula of aldoses: CHO, CHOH taken here, CH2OH. N is equal to 1 to 7. You can substitute here. What about ketones? CH2OH, C double bond to CHOH taken here, CH2OH. N is equal to 0 to 6. We can substitute here. Okay. When N is equal to 3, we will substitute here. We will get ketohexoses. Ketohexoses are fructose. Okay. Fructose belongs to ketohexoses. And N is equal to 4. When we are substituting N is equal to, we will get aldohexose. Aldohexose is glucose. Okay. Glucose belongs to aldohexose family. Aldohexose family. Clear?